What is good, my people? I'll go ahead and give this another 2 to 5 minutes as usual to give others a chance to join. If you haven't already, drop those tickers. I want to see what you guys want to add to our watch list for the new week. Hey everyone, TQQ, okay, Q's, SPY, Tesla, Nvidia, Netflix. Yeah, we have a lot of earnings. The war in Gaza, that's definitely something us investors have to keep an eye on for every single day. Yeah, Jay Bizzo, I agree. Boeing, Raytheon, Lockheed Martin. Yeah, for sure, man. There's a lot of economic data also that we can go with this week to be able to give us more conviction, and it seems like the sentiment overall could be very strong. Whatever side we do end up going towards, the bearish or the bullish side of things. But we can see that war is always, to react in a bullish kind of, way after the fact. Um, but we'll see what happens, see how much more money we go ahead and give out and things like that. Alright, for right now, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again while we give it another 2 to 5 minutes as usual. Give a chance for everybody else to go ahead and join. Alright, for sure. What's up, Abu? Alright. I'm actually going to go ahead and start here with our Discord. I'm doing great, bro. Thank you for asking. I want to actually start with, I'm going to go with an overview here of the earnings that we have coming up for quarter four, I believe. Is it quarter four? No, it's quarter three earnings. Quarter four for us, though, if you see it like that. But definitely we have a lot of earnings coming up, and I mean, as usual, we can have a way to look at them. Definitely have a strategy coming up for this earnings. So we're going to see a lot of swings for our members being called out. And I can definitely tell you one thing for sure is that I'm not going to be looking at anything prior to the 18th to start swinging. Anything after the 18th, starting with Tesla and Netflix, I actually start to look at those to be activated by tomorrow. So definitely be aware for that. Anything definitely coming up for this week. I'm going to wait another couple minutes before I go through everything here, but just a little overview of what I'm about to do is just kind of go through what we have this week and the weeks after. And specifically for this week, I don't really see to trade anything until after their news. We have banks on Friday. We got Citibank, Wells Fargo, BlackRock, PNC, Chase. We just have to watch each day. Yeah, man. I mean, that's the best thing about being a day trader is that, we're going to be able to show up each and every single day to, be able to decide, hey, are we going to stay cash? Or are we going to, see a swing to be activated? Or are we going to, in fact, enter that day trade and just be in and out? Depends on the fundamentals.
Yo,
Yo, what's going on, bro?
another Sunday, man. Well, it's an interesting Sunday, but another Sunday nonetheless.
All right. Yeah, definitely excited for the new week. Like you were saying, we have a lot of economic data. Um, and then the war in Gaza going on right now. It's definitely something that we have to be cautious for us investors. All right, I'm gonna give it 2 more minutes, and we'll go ahead and get this thing rolling. I'm going to start off with our reports that we have this week. We have CPI, inflation for both the consumer and producer side, and then we also have a lot of earnings to kind of be already cautious for. We could see that either they steer in a bullish or a bearish direction. I mean, there's only two ways that I see this thing going, at least for the rest of this month. And then after, we go over some reports here, I'm actually going to pull up our calendar that I've already created for this week so that we can see when I will be streaming the algo or live trading myself and or not at all, right? It is my birthday tomorrow, so definitely I'm gonna keep it light for the most part tomorrow. And then anything in general before Wednesday, before CPI, it is to be considered light positions either way. So the timing works out. But for right now, you guys can see my screen, right? I have our earnings. I posted this on Friday. Um, you know, Kind of like, hey, get ready. Maybe jot down a few of the ones that you want to look out for this week and maybe the next coming weeks. And we can all see some, potential movements starting tomorrow. In fact, to look at those swings when I do, call out that plan. Anything catch your guys' eye this week, or is it more like when the Tesla and Netflix earnings come about, or are you guys not even looking at earnings for this month? Talk to me.
I'm not paying much attention to them for this week, but the Teslas, the big boys, I'm definitely gonna have my eye on them.
Yeah, right. Those are the ones that tend to have a shift in the market, right, and actually maybe even uphold some type of trend for the end of the month. We gotta wait, like you said, for those big boys to kind of show us something first. And I don't really. I mean, maybe you could start this Friday with the banks, right? Um, but ultimately, Tesla and Netflix, they do have a nice shift in the markets usually, or a reaction to shift the markets. Well, 9:06 here. Actually, give it another minute. So I'm pretty sure a couple of others will join throughout. If not, I definitely want to just go ahead and get this thing rolling. So I'm just gonna briefly go through each and every single day here when it comes to earnings, and I'm just gonna, if you want to jot this down for now.
Yo, Jay, do you remember the last time S&P was ahead of Nasdaq?
No, I don't. Probably maybe a couple months back.
Yeah, this is weird, and this futures is gapped down hard as fuck right at open. Like this is weird, man.
Yeah, we'll definitely take a look at futures and our indices when we pull up our charts here. And who knows, maybe we can combine the fundamentals that we're about to also go over and gather more of a conviction there, for sure.
I might trade London tonight. I had a nap today, man. I might end up anyway.
Yeah, no doubt, bro. I definitely see a lot of opportunity. So let's see if the setups are there, right? So remind me on that. We'll go ahead and pull up that chart.
Like uncertainty and whatnot, and plus we're not gonna get no action because our market is closed tomorrow anyway. I might pull a few moves in the middle of the night tonight to make up for my Monday being lost.
Our markets are closed tomorrow. The U.S. markets,
Yeah,
are they
black
really?
ass Columbus Day.
Is it? Dang, I didn't even. Nah, man, our markets are open tomorrow.
It's a banking holiday.
Let me double check. Stock markets closed U.S. Pulling up the first one here. Yeah, no, the last time that our markets were closed was on the 4th of September, and the next day that they're closed is on Thanksgiving. Um,
Oh, cool.
I
I thought
also,
I thought we were.
it's closed. I know Cadam is closed for Thanksgiving. I mean, I just searched it up. Besides the resources tab that I have from the bottom of our Discord here, I have the list of when the stock market is closed. But besides that, I looked up on Google right now when is the stock market closed next, and it says Thanksgiving. Let me just double check with another website here. Is Wall Street closed for Columbus Day? Let me see. Mm, is the stock market open on Columbus Day? Yes, the NYSE and the Nasdaq are open on Columbus Day slash Indigenous Peoples Day, which is 2023 lands on Monday, October 9.
Good shit. I thought it was close. I'm sitting here trying to catch some moves on London and shit, but hey, regular Monday.
Yeah, so as for the bonds market, it is closed that day. So Either way, hold on. I'm gonna go ahead and who's indigenous people day? It's Jeremy's birthday day. That's what it is. They just haven't recognized yet. I'm kidding. No, I'm not kidding. But stock markets are open tomorrow. All right. Anyways, let's get this thing rolling. I mean, either way, it's to take anything prior to CPI and PPI very light, in my opinion. It's just something to consider. But the stock markets are open tomorrow. Either way, just to go briefly here through the earnings, right? At least we confirmed that. Definitely, if you go to the resources tab on the bottom of our Discord, it is going to be number 8. I literally have a list of when the stock markets are is to be closed this year. I'll go ahead and update that obviously every single year. But for right now, you can be able to see up until Christmas Day exactly when are we closed. So again, that's under resources tab at the bottom of our Discord in the trading bootcamp to be specific. But at least we confirmed that. Thanks, bro. My birthday is tomorrow, so you guys can blow my phone at 12 o'clock. I appreciate it. But yeah, like I said, for anybody that just joined, prior to CPI and PPI, which is Wednesday and Thursday, I'll go over the calendar I just already created. It's to be taken light anyways, but yes, we are open tomorrow and Tuesday. All right, so I'm going to briefly go over the earnings that we have. Again, for members, just be aware that even tomorrow we might start activating our swings for anything later on throughout the month. When it comes to this week specifically, if I do trade any earnings, it's going to be past the reports, post their news that they release. Anything prior, I don't even want to touch. I think it's just a gamble. And again, in general, it's CPI and PPI Wednesday and Thursday, as well as FOMC minutes meeting on Wednesday after CPI. It's actually at 2 o'clock. CPI is in the morning. So just in general, it's, Monday and Tuesdays to be taken very lightly, although I may already enter some swings for something later throughout the month. Again, that's going to be my plan for our earnings strat. But again, just to briefly go through each and every single one of these, if maybe you want to jot down what I'm going to be looking at, you'll definitely hear me say this again next Sunday, when we look at the new week. But I already know, based off of my likings here, which ones I'm going to be touching for sure. Or maybe not, as long as the opportunity is there. But for Thursday, it's going to be Delta. Friday, it's going to be Chase, BlackRock, Citi, Wells Fargo, and or PNC. For Tuesday the 17th, Bank of America, United, not J&J. Me personally, I don't really care for the spreads on J&J. I've swung J&J before, and I mean, it's just I personally don't like how the theta really comes and chops up things, no matter even if the direction could be true. But that's just me personally. Goldman Sachs, I will be looking at that. That's one of my most favorite swings, if anything. So that's the 17th. We'll be looking at those three. For the 18th, it's going to be Tesla, Netflix. And then for the 19th, American Airlines, TSMC. This is a Chinese semiconductor company. I absolutely love this stock, especially if I'm going to be swinging it from even maybe starting tomorrow. Which, again, my members, you guys will have all the plans set up by tonight to tomorrow when it comes to any swings. Excuse me. And then the 20th, next week, Friday, not this week coming up, but the following, I will be looking at just American Express. For the 23rd, nothing. The 24th, Coca-Cola, GE, Snapchat, and GM, as well as Dow Jones. If anything, on the 24th and the 23rd, I'll be very, very light while we wait for this Dow Jones earnings, right? And then for the 25th, I will be looking at Meta, Boeing. Again, with Boeing, like Jay Bizzle, you said Boeing, right? I actually might look at that tomorrow and Tuesday because of what we have going on. So Meta, Boeing, IBM, and then the 26th, Intel, Ford, Chipotle, UPS. The 27th, pretty much all the oil companies here. ExxonMobil, Chevron. Actually, that's it, just those two. And then when it comes to right here, the 30th, maybe just McDonald's. I don't really care for Chegg or SoFi. I've traded them before, but it's not really to my liking. But I definitely will be looking at either one of McDonald's. Actually, just McDonald's here on the 30th. 31st, Pfizer, Marathon, BP, Caesars. For the first, Qualcomm, Marathon Oil, SunPower. For the second, Apple, Carvana, Starbucks, Block, which is Square. I will be looking at that. That's the card processor that you just tap on. I love that stock. I think it's very aggressive. And I actually would love to start looking at that for this week as a swing. Mm, the third over here for November, nothing. The 7th of November, Oxy. I might actually look at Oxy as a swing starting now. The 8th of Wednesday on November, Disney, Warner Brothers. We swung Warner Brothers last earnings. That was a nice play. And then that's pretty much it. So you could probably think that maybe like what if somebody was counting probably up to 20 different stocks that we can look at besides our usual day trades, which for me it's SPY, SPX, and Qs at most. So I definitely like the opportunities that we have approaching for sure. Let me know what you guys think. If any of those caught your eye, and if you are going to be looking at them, you definitely keep us all aware if there's any breakouts. If we're already not calling that out, right? There's definitely a lot of opportunities here, and maybe some of them hit all in the same day. Maybe there's only a portion of them, or maybe none of them, right? But I think it's best that we can at least set up that plan together. So that's pretty much what I have for earnings, right? Just to switch you guys over now to my calendar, our calendar that I was able to build based off of the Forex Factory reports. So specifically, we have here on the 9th, in blue, just so you guys can remember, the blue is our schedule for when I specifically will go live or will be streaming the algorithm. And as you can see here for Monday, I'm not going to be doing pre-market scans tomorrow nor Tuesday. It's going to be my birthday, and I'm going to be real. I'm not planning to wake up so early. And just in case, maybe I do, so maybe I will go on live, but I wouldn't really depend on it. I'm going to be honest. And also just because of the fact that I'm just going to keep it very, very light until after CPI and after PPI. So I don't really want to go ahead and force any entries, especially in the morning, right? So resuming tomorrow, definitely will be live streaming the algo just to kind of like maybe see how we resume from the weekend and also how we react, pre CPI. If I do go live, I will of course announce this in the morning. So definitely be attentive to this. If not, then I'll go ahead and send out a text alert in the day trade channel that we have. For the afternoon, I do plan to go live. It is my birthday, but I still plan to go live trade. At least in either the morning or the afternoon. Definitely want to be able to catch some type of opportunity if we can break out of our levels. If we don't, then you know what, I don't mind staying cash again for Monday and Tuesday. So that's the plan overall for Monday and Tuesday. As you notice that Tuesday compared to Monday, I will be live trading both halves for Tuesday. Again, as long as the breakouts and the opportunities are there. For Wednesday, of course, I am going to be on doing pre-market scans prior to CPI, so we can see what the reaction is. And then post CPI, I'm merely just going to be either streaming, kind of like speculating, because we also have FOMC minutes this exact day, but later on post lunchtime, right? So for the second half, I mean, I wouldn't really be touching much. Maybe power hour, and that's going to be probably just lottos, and it'll be again based off of what FOMC and CPI can give us, but not disregarding that the very next day we have PPI, which is the inflation of the producer side of things. So I feel like maybe CPI is going to give us a short-term reaction for the next couple of weeks, but PPI is something to look at for sure because I feel like as us investors, if we really look at the data closely, it kind of like projects what the next couple of months will reveal for CPI. You could definitely also kind of think that without analyzing the data, what makes sense that if the producers are reporting, hey, there's negative or there's positive, results from the things that they're creating or the things that they're selling, supply and demand, that of course the consumers, us, we're gonna end up feeling it in in the next month, 2 months, maybe even the next quarter. So they say, and I also agree, looking at the data and what I just said, that the producer side of things definitely can predict what the next coming reaction could be to us consumers and our inflation report. So if you want to do a little bit of backtesting to see, maybe even merely predict what this CPI can do, just probably check a couple of months back and see what the pattern has been for PPI and see if it's actually been declining or inclining on their side. It can give us a prediction to what maybe Wednesday's report could be. And if, hey, you want to swing or you want to trade, prior to that report, then again, that's another way to kind of convince yourself of set trends, right? So just back to Thursday, we have PPI, but just looking at before the market opens, we have, I'm pretty sure it's at 8:30 in the morning, but I put it, at the same time as PPI around there. We have Delta earnings. If I do see to trade this, it's going to be post PPI report, post their report, which will more than likely be market open. And I mean, it's very simple. It's just going to have to hold, the said levels that I post in the trading floor on that day. So just definitely keep an eye out for that. Thursday, I like to think that the volume is just, it tends to be very low. There's not a lot of trading going on, and if there is, it's just very consolidated, and it's like it's in its own range. A lot of scalps, no retest, and I personally just don't really care for scalping. I want to see the holds, and I want to see I want to see the good enough reaction to where I can be able to trim and squeeze in or average into my positions, not within a couple minutes be able to have to close out. And it's just because I don't have the tolerance all the time for that. So especially Thursdays before Friday, which I do love to trade Fridays. I don't really as much care to force any trades, but it is post PPI, so who knows if we break out like last week, then for sure I'll go with the trend and I'll seek to hold. Excuse me. So for Friday, it's pretty simple. It's merely the same thing as every other day. Just starting off with pre-market scans. I want to see what our banks report, and then after that we have consumer sentiment, which is actually a post-market open. So I definitely will be. You can see that for Friday, I will not be trading until after 10 in the morning. Kind of want to just see what the sentiment here is for the consumer side of things. And this is going to be related to inflation, of course. It's not really anything as important as CPI or PPI, but it does have the 10 in the morning, mark there. So it's at a crucial time that I feel like I'd rather just trade after the fact. I think that anything market open to 10 in the morning is just very indecisive. So we'll see. And then Friday as well as Thursday post lunch, I don't really see myself live trading the end of the day there for both days. So I will just have my algo streaming for the most part, so you can maybe catch your own opportunities. So this is the schedule that we have for this week. Some good economic data and meetings after Wednesday, starting Wednesday actually, and then earnings starting on Thursday. Live trading definitely starting already tomorrow. So this is what I got going on. You wanna definitely stay tuned for this. All right. So taking us now very quickly to our charts. Gonna be maybe another 5 to 10 minutes. So if you haven't already jotted down your ticker that you wanted me to go ahead and pull up here, definitely do so now. I'm gonna start with QQQ, and then I'll go into our equities after. So starting with QQQ here, right? let's pull up the long time frame. I like to analyze the weekly on here, see where we are with things on the longer perspective. I do feel like Nasdaq more than recently has been leading the markets, not so much S&P, but who knows? Maybe we see that shift, and I'm definitely ready for it. If you guys remember the last stock talk that we had, right? We had here support at this calls range, and I mean, I was very confident, and I remember telling most of you, hey, watch this support and see that this week we actually reached the top of our box, right? And we're in fact doing that. We in fact did that all of last week, and in fact, we still have more to go. I definitely see that maybe Q's entering earnings week and earnings month, that we do actually have another pump going up to the 370 range. But I wouldn't mind also seeing that we have some type of healthy dip where it's where I stake cash, or if on an intraday perspective, the levels can actually hold under a retest. If we can't hold under a retest on my favorite time frames like the 5 or the 15 or even the 30, then I'll just be looking at to analyze the weekly and see if that, hey, maybe we're just having an indecisive downtrend, but it's going down there, right? And that's exactly what I need to see before, either reacting to buy more calls or to seeing that, hey, earnings is just crashing us down and I have to see that level actually hit. So for right now, I like to see that our plan is actually working out right now. I mean, we can actually kind of do this. I mean, it's right there. It's not perfect, but it definitely had that uptrend all of last week. And I could definitely see that it's going to, keep doing that as long as we can open up a little bit higher, right? But like MK, you were just saying, futures opened up with a gap down. So I mean, it makes a lot of sense. Why maybe we're just taking some type of healthy dip before, who knows? Maybe earnings either crashes us down or picks us back up with CPI sentiment. We gotta let the weekend kind of like resume and react to the initial move first, and then I feel like we can start building up the plan from there. But that is what I got for now. I really like how this is panning out. It's jumping off of support from before. It doesn't necessarily have to, just reverse back up. But this is the initial leg that we wanted to see, and this is actually, believe it or not, the retest before confirming whether we buy more of a downtrend or fundamentally we actually ride the uptrend. It all depends on what the reports say this week. That's definitely my opinion. All right. So I'm gonna pull up SPX tomorrow, and we can see the gaps when market opens. It's not gonna show it to us right now. And anyways, I can just pull up SPY on a smaller time frame and nearly get the same sentiment. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the 30-minute time frame, which right now I really like the fact that we're actually holding a bullish formation, but I'm not ready to go ahead and buy calls until we can hold some type of healthy dip. We definitely just saw that on a longer perspective for Qs. So why wouldn't we want to see it with, SPY, which is kind of like its sister, right, in the markets. So first, I would need to see that, if after the healthy dip, we can actually hold above that 430 range. And if we can't hold above 430, then I'm not going to look for calls until we can jump back above 430. So as of right now, I see that SPY is at that 430 range. But if futures wants to keep on tanking right now overnight, then SPY is going to go ahead and react to this and for sure be on the other side of where we are right now, right? But again, 430s and above, I'm going to leave my levels actually here, how they are. I'm actually confident to where they are. So anything above 430s calls, anything under 429.80s puts. I'm going to put 429.80s puts. And I mean, first and foremost, I would want to see some type of healthy dip to be able to buy more calls. So yes, I'm looking to, add more bullish sentiment going into this week, especially with the reports that we have to wait for. But if when we see that healthy dip while waiting for more calls, it actually doesn't hold there, it actually reverses to the other side, I'm not going to be, scared to switch my bias or, accept that, hey, this is the new sentiment. It's literally, reversing and it's holding under a set level. Now I got to go ahead and create a new plan. So until then, until that actually breaks under, I am bullish just because, that's where we were able to leave off from on Friday, right? Another thing too, I really like on a long perspective here for SPY, I mean that bullish, uptrend that we had on Thursday to Friday, um, it did some nice movement to be able to say, even if we do intraday wise, go down and have the shift, down to 426, right, and we go down to this support over here, that who's to say that we don't go and buy more calls at that point as a swing after the downtrend has already happened. So there's definitely multiple ways to look at this. Buy more calls up here only if it can hold that, understanding that it has still more power from last week. And if not, hey, watch the downtrend or ride it down. Ride that healthy dip to, I would say, at least that 426 range. And then if it can hit that 426 range and then again hold above, then okay, that's when we can load up on the calls. If it doesn't hold that 426, then you know what, just keep riding the downtrend. We're going to keep riding it down until a previous support, which we just have to keep going higher and higher in our time frame. But at that point, I think the Q's plan that we were just talking about would just pan out perfectly and would just be continuing to ride that retest that we were just noticing, right? So a lot of what we're saying right now is just a little bit of speculation, a little bit of going with what the plan has been already for a little while, and we just kind of need to see a little bit of it pan out more before taking more of that risk, right? The plan is never always going to be 100% perfect, so we definitely just got to watch like the initial moves. And another thing too, like I always say, if not already managing calls from last week to this week, that's what you got to do. You got to like kind of just wait for the next reaction, because you're not in the one that's going on right now, right? So that's what I got for Qs and SPYs. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up Tesla. I'm not gonna pull up any of the earnings for this week because I plan on trading them post the report. I feel like now we're just a little bit too close to them reporting. So I'll go ahead and start with Tesla, which starts next week on Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken, along with Netflix, right? So same thing with Tesla here. I mean, if Tesla can actually hold above 261 here, I would actually look to buy more calls. But I do need to go a little bit higher on my time frame, so just kind of noticing a little bit here, this box that we're in. So Tesla right now is actually not in a valid position for me to be buying at all, but this makes a lot of sense to the strat that I'm going to be sharing with you guys. Definitely, give me that time. I have everything prepared. It's just starting to like a little bit more, be more organized with that. But according to the plan that I have for the earnings strat, which I'm going to briefly go through right now, it is in a box, but it is, I feel like, just getting ready for that new move. Now, what do I need to do before I start swinging, even up until after its earnings? I need to either see the initial move to the upside, which holds on top of this consolidation, or I need to see the opposite, which is the downside, right here. So whatever happens, I mean, if it can start activating by tomorrow, the down or the upside, and then we can actually see after the reaction, the buy-in, because it's holding, then I actually look for that expiry to be after Tesla reports its earnings, and I'll just hold up until next week, not this week, coming up with the following, right? And that's just kind of what I'm looking at for Tesla, and a little bit of its earnings that is coming up. So for NVIDIA, I don't think I mentioned NVIDIA, right? NVIDIA is not reporting anytime soon. So, I mean, for NVIDIA, it's just pretty simple. I think, I would want to see the same reaction, like with the rest of the market. I'm actually going to go ahead and bring this tool from over here. I think it's working out really nicely. I mean, not only were we able to have this uptrend last time, but to hold support and then continue all the way up here. I think it's a very nice projection that we had. So now I'm just going to go ahead and move this, if you guys don't mind. And I'm going to say that the next healthy dip would be around here. So if it's starting to already take that healthy dip, I feel like, believe it or not, the healthy dip would actually start to come down to around here. And if we can hold that 446 range based off of this previous support from before in the now, then I'll look to also buy calls for NVIDIA approaching Friday. I say Friday because I don't really care to trade anything that's not that doesn't have ODT available. The expiries to be available on the same day, because I'm not sure, especially if I'm swinging this without earnings in play. So if I'm not looking to include this as an earnings trade, then I mean the best bet that I have to be able to trade this, not already doing it on a day-to-day basis, would be the next time that it has expiries on the same day, which NVIDIA, Apple, Tesla, a lot of our blue chips, they do have expiries for Fridays. So I will be looking to trade NVIDIA, maybe swinging from a Thursday to Friday, or just probably even on a Friday itself. I don't need to stress my mind out swinging something when I know I can just trade it the next day and have the same exact ROI with probably even a fraction, like a 16th of the time used. I could probably be in and out 5 minutes on a day trade, and get more ROI on a Friday because the expiry is on that day, than holding it from Thursday to Friday and not knowing if in fact direction is what's really gonna give me that percentage. It doesn't matter if the direction's true. It's the up and down in between, while market's opening, if this is actually gonna give me a good win. So that's what I see for NVIDIA. Let's go ahead and pull up a couple of our war stocks. So LMT, I mean, I really like LMT's bullish formation here. I like the initial move up. I like how it held up after the fact. I think LMT is just about to blow up, honestly. As long as tomorrow with market open, it can actually continue to hold the 400 range, and I actually think that we can go see 410 very soon on LMT. If not, then I do see that it will just jump back into this box range, this consolidation range, and I would need to see the initial leg down, hold under this support, and then bang on it after the fact. So I mean, either way goes for LMT, but I am more bullish on it for the meanwhile. And then for this one, I'm not really going to be looking at it on a day-to-day basis, so I will put an alert to let me know if it hits 401, right, or if it hits that 400 mark. If it can hit either or, then I'll definitely just pop it up and see where we're at with it. So right now it's just kind of like in the middle of that, and we'll just wait for it to hit. What other stocks did you guys say? Let me see. SPY, Tesla, NVIDIA, Netflix, okay. BBY. Alright, for sure. Alright, let's pull up Netflix really quick, just so that we can put in our alerts for tomorrow. I mean, I really like Netflix as well. It's like the same kind of formation from LMT. It already had the initial move up, but I don't really see the healthy dip. And when I mean healthy dip is like some type of formation to the downside, some red candlestick formation here, to show me that hey, we are retesting, we are attempting, to maybe reject, but we're still bullish because after that we did that rejection, we continue to show this momentum, right? So I really need for Netflix to still pull back in some form, and I would like for it to pull back to at least 275 range, and then look to buy it back, honestly, to fill these bids that we left from before. Maybe not 395 exact, but just to be humble, maybe even like that 390 range I really like. So I definitely don't mind riding Tesla, $15, $10 up, and then maybe our runners pushing us all the way over here, in fact, for sure. But I'm going to be humble and at least place it a little bit, lower than before. You can even see maybe our first take profits to like these smaller wicks over here. So first trims over here, maybe $5, $7 above, and then the next ones to run up to $10, and the final runners to go maybe $20 or so above. But I have to see some type of retest first, some type of retracement. All right. What else? BBY. Is BBY reporting earnings soon? So this is what I like to see, right? The initial move up, the healthy dip, and then we're just banging on top again, right? Honestly, what I would need to continue to see though, because I'm not already managing the calls after the healthy dip, that's what a lot of us have to accept is, hey, are we late, early to the party, late to it, and if so, then you gotta wait for the new reaction, right? So I really feel like this is the initial move up, this is the healthy dip, right? And then after the healthy dip, we want to see something like this, another healthy dip, to at least hold above previous resistance. I keep erasing my thing here. We want to see it hold above previous resistance after the next healthy dip, and then look to see what it does. Then of course have to take the risk, and then see that maybe our runners go ahead and hit a higher point. And I would actually point this to maybe like that $70 range first, just because of this previous support here before we really broke down. But then honestly, to eventually go to 72, and then to 74, and then over here to 75. I like to use my indicators, and I also like to use the support and resistance from the algorithm. But then also, literally looking at the last time that we were at those lows, and it ultimately makes sense, right? And then you see, okay, SMA was at that resistance, supports over here at this low, and then you see our inner supports at these lows. So it's definitely a lot of convictions here to go with. But that's pretty much what I have for this week. Again, just keeping it this week very, very light on the day trading. When it comes to swings, I might actually start testing a few of them tomorrow, such as Tesla, Netflix. Let me see. I'm actually going to name a couple here for you guys. Not all of you are members, but it's all good. So tomorrow I'll be looking to get, probably, if it activates, right, I have to do some of my charting tonight. Definitely a few of you're going to be able to see them already. GS, Tesla, Netflix, TSMC, Meta, Ford, Apple, Square, and Oxy. And that's it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8. There's around 8 of them that I might actually look to start picking up tomorrow. Just definitely keep in mind that if you're not even a swinger, just probably watch, see what happens first, right? But that's what I got for tonight, my people. I'm gonna start hopping off here. I'm actually gonna just be with my fam for a little while before the big 23. So I appreciate y'all. I know everybody started already coming off after we already did our charts and our reports. And I get it, it's going to be a pretty short week for the first half, but I'm pretty sure, every day that we just show up a little bit, we'll catch some opportunity abiding our times for sure. Alright, well, I appreciate you guys for showing up. Hit me up if anything. I'm going to go ahead and post everything that we just talked about in our calendar.
Happy born day, my guy.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys.
Don't do a whole bunch of shit I would do.
Nah, bro. Never that. You guys are degens, that's a fact. Alright, my people. Well, I appreciate you guys again. We'll talk soon. Talk tomorrow for sure.